2 Samuel 16. When David had gone a short way beyond the summit, Ziba, the servant of Mephibosheth, was there to meet him. He had a couple of donkeys that were saddled, and on them were 200 loaves of bread, 100 raisin cakes, and 100 baskets of summer fruit, and a container of wine. The king asked Ziba, "Why did you bring these things?" Ziba replied, "The donkeys are for the king's family to ride on. The loaves of bread and the summer fruit are for the attendants to eat, and the wine is for those who get exhausted in the desert." The king asked, "Where is your master's grandson?" Ziba replied to the king, "He remains in Jerusalem, for he said, 'Today the house of Israel will give back to me my grandfather's kingdom.'" The king said to Ziba, "Everything that was Mephibosheth now belongs to you." Ziba replied, "I bow before you. May I find favor in your sight, my lord the king." Then King David reached Bahurim. There a man from Saul's extended family named Shimei, son of Gera, came out yelling curses as he approached. He threw stones at David and all the King David's servants, as well as all the people and the soldiers who were on his right and on his left. As he yelled curses, Shimei said, "Leave, leave, you man of bloodshed, you wicked man! The Lord has punished you for all the spilled blood of the house of Saul, in whose place you rule. Now the Lord has given the kingdom into the hand of your son Absalom. Disaster has overtaken you, for you are a man of bloodshed." Then Abishai, son of Zeruiah, said to the king, "Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over and cut off his head." But the king said, "What do we have in common? You son of Zeruiah, if if he curses because the Lord has said to him, 'Curse David,' who can say to him, 'Why have you done this?'" Then David said to Abishai and to all the servants, "My own son, my very own flesh and blood, is trying to take my life. So also now this Benjamite. Leave him alone so that he can curse, for the Lord has spoken to him. Perhaps the Lord will notice my affliction and this day grant me good in place of his curse." So David and his men went on their way, but Shimei kept going along the hillside, along the side of the hill opposite him, yelling curses, and he threw stones and dirt at them. The king and all the people who were with him arrived exhausted at their destination, where David refreshed himself. Now when Absalom and all the men of Israel arrived in Jerusalem, Ahithophel was with him. When David's friend Hushai the Archite came to Absalom, Hushai said to him, "Long live the king! Long live the king!" Absalom said to Hushai, "Do you call this loyalty to your friend? Why didn't you go with your friend?" Hushai replied to Absalom, "No, I will be loyal to the one whom the Lord, these people, and all the men of Israel have chosen. Moreover, whom shall I serve? Should it not be his son? Just as I served your father, I will serve you." Then Absalom said to Ahithophel, "Give us your advice. What should we do?" Ahithophel replied to Absalom, "Sleep with your father's concubines, whom he left to care for the place. All Israel will hear that you have made yourself repulsive to your father. Then your followers will be motivated to support you." So they pitched a tent for Absalom on the roof, and Absalom slept with his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. In those days, Ahithophel's advice was considered as valuable as prophetic revelation. Both David and Absalom highly regarded the advice of Ahithophel. Remember, Ahithophel is, "My brother is foolish, My brother is foolish. All right, so this is a much shorter chapter than the previous one. So on the way, David is a short way beyond the summit. Ziba, who was the one who was in charge of Saul's household, is put in charge of Mephibosheth, is caring for him. His family is to serve Mephibosheth, which is the descendant of Jonathan. If I remember right, it's definitely a descendant of Saul. He comes with donkeys. He comes with loaves of bread. He comes with raisin cakes. He comes with baskets of fruit, and he comes with wine. He is bringing bribes to the king. Why is he bringing bribes to the king? Well, if it wasn't the story he's telling here, it may not be bribes, but whatever it is, he is bringing things to please the king. And so the king is like, why are you bringing these things? The donkeys are for your family. The loaves of bread are for the attendants. The wine is when people get exhausted. So he has a plan for everything that is coming. And the king asks, well, where's my grandson? Well, he remains in Jerusalem. He said, today the household of Israel will be given back to my grandfather's kingdom. The king said, everything that's Mephibosheth's now belongs to you, Ziba. I bow before you. May I find favor? Or Ziba replies, I bow before you. May I find favor in the sight of the Lord the king. So Ziba comes and gives him gifts, and then says, yeah, my master is rebelled against the king. He's going to stay in Jerusalem. He thinks the kingdom is returning to him. So he's like, well, then I'll take everything that was his. He's rebelled. I'll give it to you. If you are and have faithful served me, I will reward you. So he believes Ziba has faithfully been serving him. He brought all these things to demonstrate his faithfulness. Now the king is rewarding him for that. So David reaches Bahurim. There a man from Saul's extended family named Shimei, son of Gera, came out yelling curses as he approached. Next. So King David has gone through a region where Saul's extended family is residing. He is being cursed by Shimei as he is walking along. So he's also having stones thrown at him. The soldiers are having stones thrown at them. On the right and the left, all the people are hearing the curses. Leave, leave, you man of bloodshed, you wicked man. The Lord has punished you for the spilled blood of the house of Saul, in whose place you rule. Now the Lord has given the kingdom into the hand of your son Absalom. Disaster has overtaken you, for you are a man of bloodshed. Okay, notice the phrasing that he is using. You are a man of bloodshed. What was one of the reasons why David was told he could not build the temple? Because he is a man of bloodshed. He's not able to build the temple because he's a man of bloodshed. The curse coming against him is he's a man of bloodshed. This is why I think, and also he already was told that the sword of the Lord will come against him. It will not depart from his house. So Abishai is coming and says, this is just dead dog cursing the king. Let me go over and cut his head off. And the king says, what do we have in common, you sons of Zeruiah? If he curses because the Lord has said to him, curse David, who can say to him, why have you done this? So David's belief is that, hey, the curses are coming because God has told him to curse me. Why does he think that? I think because he's called a man of bloodshed. And that's what God, through the prophet Nathan and other places, has mentioned that he is. Next, Tempest, you have to go. No problem. I appreciate the raid. Like, raid and run is always welcome, Next Tempest. And blessings upon you, friend. So, curse David. He's probably cursing me. God has sent him to curse me. I will not come against what God is doing. This gives us David's mindset all the way through. What Absalom's doing is God's judgment. What this man cursing him is doing, Shimei, is God's doing. I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to allow this to take place. My own son, my very own flesh and blood is trying to take my life. So also now this Benjamite, leave him alone so that he can curse, for the Lord has spoken to him. Perhaps the Lord will notice my affliction, and this day grant me a good place grant me good in place of the curse. So this man is legitimately cursing me. God has given him the words to curse me. David is recognizing that the man of bloodshed is in fact the words of God. So he understands this cursing has come upon him to test him in some way. Will he put down and squash this man who's coming against him legitimately? Will he respond unfairly like he did with Uriah, where he responded unfairly? So David now is accepting everything that is coming against him as if it is coming directly up from God, from the sin that he perpetrated. And he is saying, and I'm going to allow this affliction to come upon me. And maybe if God sees my affliction, he will turn the curses into something good instead. All right. So David is taking a position of allowing God to do what God is doing. He sees these actions as from the hand of God. So David and his men went on their way, but Shimei kept coming alongside opposite them, yelling curses and throwing stones and dirt at them. So when he can't find a stone, he just finds a clod of dirt and he throws it. The king and all the people who were with him finally arrived exhausted at their destination, where David refreshed himself. Now when Absalom and all his men, so remember, going back to the city, when Absalom and all his men arrived at Jerusalem, Ahithophel, those who were not here, Ahithophel means my brother is foolish. My brother is foolish. So my brother is foolish was with Absalom. The king's friend, Hushai, the Archite, came with Absalom. Did we look up Hushai? Yes, hasting. So, like, you're doing it in haste, I guess, is the idea there. So he hastily is here. I don't know if there's anything there. Sometimes there's something in the word. Sometimes there's not. All right. Comes to him and says, long live the king, long live the king. Absalom's like, do you call this loyalty to your friend? I know you were a friend of my father. Why didn't you go with your friend? Hushai replies to Absalom, no, I will be loyal to the one whom the Lord, these people and all the men of Israel chosen. No, I'm not loyal to your father. I was loyal to the one the Lord chose, the people chose, and all the men chose. So I'm loyal to the people. I'm loyal to the Lord. I'm loyal to Israel. That's who I'm loyal to. I'm not loyal to a man. Moreover, whom should I serve? Should it not be the son? So I could serve anybody. How about the son? Just as I served your father, I will serve you. So he comes in. Absalom says to Ahithophel, my brother is foolish. Give us advice. What should we do? So Absalom says, my brother is foolish. What advice do you have? Now Ahithophel replied to Absalom, sleep with your father's concubines, whom he left to take care of the palace. All Israel will hear that you have made for yourself repulsive to your father. Then your followers will be motivated to support you. So they pitch a tent, and Absalom goes up on the roof, and Absalom sleeps with his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. This is why he does it on the roof, so the concubines can be seen going in and out of the tent. Absalom can be seen going in and out of the tent. It can be viewed by everyone, not the actual act, but the implications of it. So remember what David prayed would happen, is that Ahithophel would give bad advice. We also had the 10 concubines were left to take care of the palace. Now Absalom is doing what also fulfills scriptures, because Nathan said to him that another man is going to sleep with your concubines. And this has now taken place. So this indeed is the fulfillment, or partly fulfilling what God said is going to happen. The sword is not going to depart from your house, and another man is going to sleep with your concubines. So it has taken place. Hey, welcome in, DJ. In those days, Ahithophel's advice was considered as valuable as prophetic revelation. Both David and Absalom highly regarded the advice of Ahithophel. So his advice is super good. This is out of the ordinary for this to be bad advice. So we're getting this set up. Does this sound like bad advice? Is this really good advice? We'll have to see how it plays out. David prayed that his advice would be bad. Even though his advice was considered as good as prophetic revelation, let's see how this all plays out.